It's never a waste of time to make time for the truth. A moment spent listening and paying attention to the truth can change your life. So let's take a moment for the truth. Psalms 119:87 says, "They almost destroyed me on earth, but as for me, I did not abandon your precepts." Hope is a fragile commodity unless its foundation is sure and certain. This becomes most evident when it's tested beyond the point where we almost give up. All this comes into play in today's psalm. As I've mentioned before, in this section of 8 verses, the psalmist is recounting a dark time in his life. Now, in this verse, he makes a telling statement. He says, "They almost destroyed me on earth." The first word in this verse is the word almost. The word is often translated few, small, or very small. You might say, on my last little bit. The second word used is destroyed. It's often translated to end, to cease, done, expired, to cause to fail. What the writer is saying is that he was down to his last little bit before he was done. He felt himself on the precipice. But then comes his confession. "But as for me, I did not abandon your precepts." Even in the darkest place where hope might fade, he did not loosen, relinquish, or walk away from what God had said. Such a confession is to be commended. But in the context of our true weakness and this whole section of verses, the truth of such strength is in what such a person is holding on to. There are people who can manage courage in difficult times based on an ideal, a cause, or even their own pride. But everything in this entire psalm gives testimony to something else. The endurance comes from the reality of what the psalmist and who the psalmist is trusting in. See, it's possible to stand in a storm when you stand on a rock that will not be moved. And there's also an honesty in such a confession. I mean, where else could he go or hope to find surety? I'm reminded of a confession from the disciple Peter. Jesus had come to a place where his teaching caused many people to walk away from him. And then we find in John 6:66-69, it says, "As a result of this, many of his disciples left and would no longer walk with him. So Jesus said to the 12, 'You do not want to leave me also, do you?' Simon Peter answered, 'Lord, to whom shall we go? You have the words of eternal life.'" We will be pressed sometimes to the point of almost breaking. As it says in 2 Corinthians 4:8-9, "We are afflicted in every way, but not crushed, perplexed, but not despairing, persecuted, but not abandoned, struck down, but not destroyed." Does such endurance come from human will or strength? No. The answer comes in the previous verse, 2 Corinthians 4:7. It says, "But we have this treasure in earthen containers, so that the extraordinary greatness of the power will be of God and not from ourselves." The strength to endure comes from God himself. Thank him for his strength, even in moments that might seem hopeless. It only takes a moment to look to him and to thank him. In such moments, his truth really does matter. Thanks for watching and listening to Truth Matters Moment. Also, don't forget to look for our weekly podcast called Truth Matters. It comes out every Wednesday. Catch you later.